Hey, it's time for a fucking potty, don't you think, gals? MILFs, I know you've been waiting. It's been a good couple of weeks since I've made a beautiful little release for my little cherubs who listen. So this episode I want to talk about how to lose fat faster than your husband. Now, a lot of my mamas struggle with that. They're out of shape, but their husband's in shape. And he's busy telling them, yeah, all you need to do is X, Y, Z, and you're probably fucking sick of it. You don't want to listen to him, you can't be fucked, and the same rules that apply to him definitely don't apply to you. One, because 1 week out of every 4 weeks, you have your period. Shark week, we call it in the crew. And to be honest, it can throw a spanner in the works. Not only that, if you're a mum, chances are you probably have to deal with the emotional needs of your household more than your husband would. Safe to say. Although it is 2025 and apparently men can be women and women can be men and men can have babies, so you never fucking know. I don't. But if you're straight down the line, mama, and everything lines up, this podcast is for you. So I'm going to walk through pretty much the basics of what you need to do. So if you want to lose fat faster than your hubs, probably the best way to do that is going to be in a calorie deficit because you'll be able to stick to it for longer. Now, general guidelines, let's say if you're a mum that's 80 kilos, you're probably going to be needing to be on a 1200 to 1100 calorie diet. Yep, it's low, suck it up, deal with it. If you're a 100 kilo mama, 1200 to 1400 is probably going to be pretty good for you. If you're 120 kilos, 140 kilos, probably a nice 14 to 16 is going to be the recipe for success for you. Now, why do we set the numbers that low or that conservative? It is to guarantee success. I don't know about you gals watching, but I have talked to thousands and thousands of Aussie mums. And what they can't get off the ground is momentum. Because they try something, doesn't work, and you quit within the first week. Now, do I think you need to probably shift your fucking mindset about that? Yeah, but am I going to solve that in a podcast? Probably no. So my job is to give yourself confidence and energy back and a sense that, yeah, you can do this and eat fun food at the same time without missing out. Now, is 1,000 calories going to give you much room for fun food? No, but safe to say, you could probably fit a fucking Whopper Junior in there, add some of your calories, it's about 400 calories. You could probably fit a grilled McChicken in there, small amount of calories. So safe to say, you can have a bit of balance and a bit of fun stuff even on a low calorie diet. So many of my mums in the coaching community do that. Heaps. They'll have me on 1200, which by Instagram standards is like nothing. And like, yeah, sure, it's not much. I'll give you that. For some mums, they come in and if they eat mostly whole foods, they're like, holy shit, I can't eat this much food. One of my gals, Miriam, she's down about 2 and a bit kilo. And she's the same. So she went from sort of more or less like eating snacks to get her sustenance to now eating whole foods. And she's like, dude, I can't even fucking get in 1200 calories. And if you want my God's honest truth, you gals eat too much shit anyway. So it's probably a little bit of good time to cut back on the sheer amount of shit that you eat. I don't think it's gonna fucking hurt. So many people are so concerned, what about, well, like, we're fat right now. That's the number one problem, not the calorie deficit. If anything, it's probably time to be in a deficit because you've been in a fucking surplus for God knows how long. So set your calories nice and low. Now the tricks of the trade is going to be increasing food volume. So the way you can do that is Aldi has a good little thing going on where they have a carrot and coleslaw mix. So you can do that, it's like $2. And you pretty much want to have some of that carrot and cabbage in like every single meal that you have apart from breakfast. What that's going to do is tell your stomach that it's full on pretty much 0 calories. Now, if you have that with some chicken tenders, chicken tenderloins is good, or you can do the air fried ones. I like the air fried ones because I'm a bit naughty, spicy, saucy. What else? You can do it with chicken tenderloins if you want to be leaner, but I wouldn't advise if you're in a harsh deficit to go like full clean, just because you're going to hate it. And you're going to go, well, fuck, like, of course I'm going to lose weight when I'm eating fuck all, you know, obviously. So you kind of want to have a little bit of a way to hack the system. Typically like air fried chicken tenders are a great way to hack the system. Or if you can sort of insert fun food, you know, to do that. Could be fucking nuggets or whatever the fuck, or like air fried chips or shit like that. But you want some way of hijacking your diet a little bit so you don't feel like you're on a diet necessarily, you just feel like you're on low calories. Because chances are, most people are okay with enduring hunger if they get to eat what they want to a point, right? You're not gonna complain about losing a kilo a week if you get to eat like candy as well, for the most part. So those are kind of some of the ways that you can have low calories but high volume. Fruit, watermelon's a real big hack. So it's about 300 calories per 1 kilo of watermelon. So you can have a kilo of watermelon flesh. Tell me if you eat a kilo of watermelon, you're gonna feel full after that. You're gonna feel like hungry after that. Hands down, 10 out of 10, you'll never feel hungry after that for at least another 3-4 hours. So watermelon is a great hack. Most fruit, vegetables, Spud Light potatoes, fucking great one. I think for about 125 grams or 250 grams, it's like 60 calories. Fucking ridiculous. Like you could have a kilo for about 300 calories, something close to that. Don't quote me. But if you have those things, you're going to show your stomach. Essentially, it's like I rebranded it as the natural Ozempic. So if you want to be fuller on less calories and not have to worry about feeling hungry all the time, fruits and vegetables are like the hack of hacks. Steer clear of rice, shit like that. It's not a no-go, but it is so easy to overeat rice. I had rice cooked last night and I probably had 500 calories of that and bat an eyelid. Piece of piss to eat, truly. So with that, just be mindful. Potatoes are typically really hard to eat. They're super high in the satiety scale. Satiety scale measures like how full you feel after a particular food item. And so Spud Light is like fucking skyrocketed up there. So I'd recommend doing that if you want a bit of a hack. Things like low calorie, low fat cheese, low fat cottage cheeses, yogurts, all of those are gonna help you, because the goal when you're trying to lose fat faster than your husband, feel full of less calories, okay? Now, that's what you're gonna wanna do for probably weeks 1 to week 8. Then what you're gonna wanna do is probably weeks 8 to 16, pull back a little bit on that, maybe sit from 1100 to probably like 1300 and hit more of a sustainable number, okay? If you hit that sustainable number, it's gonna make, because like essentially at the start you've got all this motivation, and then the motivation is driven by the results, and then you'll start seeing results, and then eventually the trade-off isn't gonna be there because you're like, well, I'm fucking getting all these results, but I'm starving. So we need to hijack that system. So then that week 8 mark, you're probably going to increase by 200 calories, give or take, depending on your fat loss results. If you're not losing a kilo plus per week on this, you're doing it wrong. You're not tracking or weighing anything, and you're lying to yourself. Hands down, fact, never changed, never gonna change. I've transformed more mums than you ever will, 1,400 and counting, and it's not changed in the time that I've done that, and 13 years worth of coaching humans, probably 5,000 people coached. It's the same answer every single time. Calories in, calories out. So week 8 to week 16, bump it up by 200. And then what I would do would be start adding in some walks. So you'd be looking at maybe 4 30-minute walks. What that's gonna do, allow you to eat more, you burn more calories, so then you kind of stay in that same deficit, give or take, okay? That should get you to anywhere from 10 kilos down to about 16 kilos down. Then phase 16 to phase 24 weeks, 16 to week 24, same rules apply, more steps. So you're gonna be wanting to walk 30 minutes a day every single day, and you can afford to be a little bit more flexible with calories, probably sitting in that 12 to 1400 mark with 7 days worth of walking. That's how I would lay it out from top to tail. If you were 80, 100, 120 kilo, 140 kilo lady, those would be the numbers that I would run with, okay? Now, if for whatever reason you're not losing that weight, there are some people that don't. The only people that I've ever seen in my entire life not respond well to a strict calorie deficit are people that have had weight loss surgery. And the more and more I coach these people, the more and more I realize that their body has actually survived off like 800 calories a day, every day. So their metabolism and their body's ability to function, process food is slowed down. Essentially, they've gotten better at using no fuel. So what you might need to do in that unique case, but chances are, I'm not speaking to you right now, but if I am, you're probably gonna need to hit at 1100, 1200 calories and just focus on waist measurements. If the waist measurements are going down and you're on 1200 calories, you're in a good zone. If your waist measurements are going up and you're on 1200 calories, bad zone, okay? by the numbers, that's what we're sort of gonna wanna hit, okay? It should be a 24-week phase max. Once you've lost 10 to 20 kilos, you need to go back to maintenance. That's gonna look like an increase of 200 to 300 calories for 2 weeks. Let the weight stabilize. Then you're gonna wanna up it again by another 200 to 300 calories. Keep the walking the same until you get to probably a comfortable 2,000, 2,200 calories, and your weight hasn't changed. Your weight should not go up by more than a kilo in a 4 to 6 week period when you're on your back phase of where you're eating at maintenance. Now, if you're someone that needs to lose a shitload of weight, you want to rinse and repeat that cycle again. And that, my gals, is pretty much by the numbers how I would run it if you want to lose fat as fast as your husband. Nice and quick one, but I thought it'd be a funny one to pop in there. Give you guys some real strategy to go off. I guarantee if you follow those exact steps, you'll fucking print results like nobody else and you won't have to pay me a cent. But as per usual, I make my money from coaching mums like yourself listening. So if you do want to pay me a cent, investment is constantly going up. We are getting better and better and in more demand and in more demand, especially coaching one-to-one with me. If you want to work with my team, obviously it's not as pricey as working with me these days, but I'll let you in on a secret. Prices to work with me have tripled. So if you're someone that can afford it and you want the best advice, hands down, probably in fucking Australia, hand over your card. I'll be there happy to help and receive it and get you the results you deserve. If not, my team are just as capable and they're fucking amazing and there's heaps of options we've got right now, current day. So yeah, links typically in my bio, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, Adriano Rizzo PT. Try not to probably flick me a text message because I won't get it because we have about 100 mums responding to calls booked every single week and they just go into the ether. So reach out to me on social media or just book a call. That's probably the best way because you'll speak with me directly. There's no sort of other person you'll really speak to other than my beautiful assistant coach, Ali, who will sometimes call people on my behalf to try and get them into the program if they've applied. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Love yous, good to be back. And I hope you enjoyed that little training. See yous.